So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. I am so excited. We have a phenomenal show lined up for you tonight. Our guest expert, she is amazing with a capital A. I mean, she is a mom, a grandmom. She's a marathon runner. She leads over 35,000 team members in her business. You want to talk about accomplished. You want to talk about a go-getter. You want to stick with us through the end of this show because this young lady is going to ooze with value for you. And what do I mean by value? Well, that's what this show is all about. The Mind, Body, Business Show. It's all about what I call the 3 pillars of success. And I found after interviewing and studying successful people over the last decade that 3 patterns kept coming up over and over and over. And you might be able to guess what those are. They're in the area of mind, which means mindset. And by the way, our guest is a mindset expert. And it's all about your mindset. It's about having a very powerful, flexible mindset. And it's everything. It's the foundation of where you are today. Whether you're successful or not, it's all due to what's going on up here. And we're going to dig into that a little bit more during this show. I'm excited for that. And then body. It's about taking care of your body, both from the inside and the outside. And that means healthy nutrition that you intake, whether it be food or drink, and continual, constant exercise. And again, our guest expert nails that. And then there's business, and one of my faves because it's so multifaceted. There's sales, there's marketing, team building, systematizing, leadership. I mean, the list goes on and on. The number of skill sets required to not only have a thriving business, create a thriving business, but to maintain and continually grow is staggering. The good news is really only one of those skill sets I just mentioned can help you to achieve all of that, and that is leadership. Once you've achieved mastery of the leadership skill set, then you can bring on and scale your business by bringing on those that have the skill sets that you have yet to acquire. Because let's be honest, to acquire all of them, I don't think any one person could acquire them all in one lifetime and master them all. And so leadership is very key. And we may get into that as well, because that is what our guest expert has done. She has mastered leadership. How is she going to manage 35,000 team members in her health and wellness business without that? And so I'm really excited to bring on this young lady in a moment. Another phenomenal thing I found about successful people and these 3 patterns is embedded in these 3 patterns in feeding their mind. They are to a person very avid readers. And with that, I like to segue into a very short segment I like to affectionately call bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
There you see it on the side, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. And just a quick short note, if I may, do yourself a favor. And rather than running off to another tab on your browser or opening up something else on your phone and going to check these things out, wait until after the show. And instead, perhaps bring out that really old-fashioned thing, parchment. It's also called paper. And maybe, I don't know if you can swing it, but a pen. I like to have fun with this. Or bring out a notepad on your computer if you have like a desktop you're watching this from, and take notes, write these down, and later come back to visit these resources. I'm sure that our guest will have many. Her name is Susan Wheeler, by the way. She will also have many as well. So write them down. Why do I say that? Because here's the thing. I've spoken on stages for years, and I've noticed that there are times when folks would get up and need to go to the restroom, or they'd take a phone call and leave the room right at the very moment that the biggest, most empowering, value-based statement was about to be uttered, and they missed it. And I would hate for that to happen to you. And so to keep yourself in the room, so to speak, just go ahead and take notes, and then later go off and visit these resources. So take good notes. So reachyourpeaklibrary.com, that is a website I had developed literally with you in mind, the entrepreneur, the one seeking greater success in their life and in their business. And I found that after reading a number of books that they had great impact on my life personally. And I didn't read for a very, very long time, not until the last decade or so. And I started reading voraciously using Audible, listening to books. That became the godsend for me, because reading with my eyeballs, they would just get strained. I couldn't do it. And so I read book after book after book. And you can see right here, list of a lot of books that are vetted by me personally. I have read every single book in here, and they're put here for the purpose of providing you with a one-stop place to go get very empowering books. I can't guarantee they'll have the same profound effect on you as they had on me, but at least the odds are greater, because each and every one of these that's listed here definitely did that for me personally. And you can see it goes on and on and on. And we're updating this list constantly. I have my team updating this as we speak. And I don't know if they've gotten to it yet, but you can see that there's quite a few in there. And just grab one pick the one that grabs your eye. Don't worry about analyzing, overanalyzing. Say, that one looks interesting. Get in the habit of taking action. Click on the button. And by the way, this is not a money-making website per se. It goes to an Amazon link. And if someone buys a book from here, I may make a few pennies. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a discipline I have. If something is there that I am referring, I always put an affiliate link if it exists. I don't care how much it pays. It's just a discipline I've instilled in myself, because that's what it's all about. We need to continually grow our businesses, and that's just a discipline that's worked for me. So that's one little lesson to start with. And now, speaking of lessons to start with, we're going to bring on an amazing, amazing young woman. I think now is the time to do that. So let's get going.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Susan Wheeler. Hey, how are you doing, Susan?
Hi, Brian. I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, goodness. You come from all the way on the East Coast in Connecticut, so I appreciate you for staying up, because you'll be staying up late. This show runs 3 hours. I hope you know that. So,
I thought it was 4, so this is perfect.
Yes, I love your sense of humor. It was nice to get to know you a little bit before we started on the show. Real quick, before I bring you on formally, Susan, I'd like to remind everyone watching live that if you stay on live to the very end, you can enter to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star, a luxury resort, all compliments of our friends it's up there, the Big Insider Secrets. It's a logo up on the page if you're watching this live or recording. If you're listening on podcast, it's the biginsidersecrets.com. They help us to give away one of these trips every single show. It's amazing. We thank them, and stay on to the end, and we'll give you the easy way to enter to win that. Everyone, we always give one away every single show. All right, to the woman of the hour. Susan Wheeler is a mom of 4, grandmother of 7, and wife to Matt, lovingly known as Red Suspenders. I can only picture that. That's pretty awesome. She lives with her husband, her 2 youngest children, and her Jack Russell Terriers on their organic vegetable farm in Northwest Connecticut. Susan is an ultra marathon runner who loves outdoor adventures. She has been an entrepreneur her entire adult life, and for the last 18 years has been a top leader in the direct sales and network marketing industry. Susan is a certified mindset coach. I can't wait to dig in on that. A speaker and author of her first book, The Lemonade Diet. What a great, great concept that is all about. She shares her personal story of overcoming and persevering, so when life hands you lemons, you can make your own lemonade. That's phenomenal. That's like the moniker of a successful entrepreneur right there. Susan is a firm believer that it is never too late to change your life. With that, I now formally introduce you, Susan. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And so I love the fact that you are a certified mindset coach, because that's how I like to start each show, because the bio, tells us a lot about your accolades, your experience. That I mentioned earlier, you lead a team of 35,000 members in your business, and you have a lot of accomplishments. You're doing great. And that's on the surface. What I like to do is find out what got you there, because of what's going on here. And I'm pointing to the noggin, that beautiful brain of yours, Susan. And so what I like to start off with is like when you get up in the morning and the day is about to start, and an entrepreneur such as yourself, we go through challenges just on a rare occasion, right? Almost every day. And those can knock a lot of people back. For you, being a mindset expert, what is it that keeps you driven, keeps you positive, keeps you going day in and day out? What's going through that brain of yours when you wake up and you start your day?
That's a great question. So it's a different day, different brain waves, right? But what I always try to do when I wake up every day is start the day on a positive note. What can I do? What can I accomplish? And I really like to, being positive sometimes sounds so cliche, but being positive is really what drives me. And I just love to kind of, I create my own day. I create my own moods. I don't like to follow. I like to be a leader. And I really think that makes a difference when you are a leader. So when I get up every day, one of the first things I do, I love a quiet morning. I work from home. I've worked from home forever. So I love a quiet morning, and I will read. I will have a cup of coffee. I love to spend time with my dogs. We have a new puppy now, so that can be, my mornings are a little earlier. But I think if you start your day in a very kind of calm and organized way and a routine, that really sets you up for success. And when I'm running and training, that's the first thing after my reading and coffee is I'm out the door for a run.
Fantastic. And what a great way to start the day, with exercise. I'm a former certified personal trainer. That used to be my core business. And I only switched about a year ago, but I'm still big into the fitness genre, because it does nothing but help you. Like I said, mind, body, business, body being a very core part of it. And I like to say the mind and body are a team. And even more importantly, they're your team. And if any one member of a team is not operating at what I like to call a peak level of performance, then the team as a whole suffers. And so really get your mindset, work on that. I highly recommend you connect with this young lady right here to do that. And for ways to get your body in tune and in shape, you're looking at her again. She can help you with, she's obviously successful. She's obviously figured it out. And here's the key. And Susan, I'd like to know if you agree with this. And that is, when you find somebody that's achieved a level of success that you desire, then all you really need to do is model that.
Absolutely. My name isn't Wheeler for nothing. Reinvent the wheel, right?
I love
Don't
it.
do it. Don't do it. But you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you for that. Don't reinvent the wheel, because too many people have done this and tried to do it. I'm pointing at myself as, card carrying member of having done that. And once you finally realize that, look, here's the thing. It's all about ego. It really comes down to ego, whether people want to admit it or not. I will admit it. And it's all about, well, I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. Well, you probably can. You probably have the capability to do all these things individually. You add them collectively and you burn out. It's not going to work. It's a recipe for failure. Modeling someone successful like Susan is a recipe for success. And all you have to do is reach out to that one person like Susan, or any mentor or coach that you have been following that you want the results they have. And this is what I did. I found a mentor, and I almost literally, I reached out and grabbed onto his ankles with both hands, and I never let go. I said, hey, man, I'm here to stay. You cannot get rid of me. And I was doing it very respectfully and helping him in the process. By the way, this guy literally by age could be my son. So age doesn't matter to me. Race doesn't matter to me. None of these things, gender, none of it. as long as they have the results you're looking for, then why not find out how they got there and then model it? Because that's all you need to do. Like Susan has done. She's perfect.
Absolutely. I say that often, that, some people can't afford a coach or a mentor, but that's where modeling after people, watching them, following them, not literally stalking, following, but following them on their social media, etc., reading books. I love your segment of bookmarks because that is so key. And all those people are your mentors for $15, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And those people I studied over that decade included authors of books, some of which are no longer with us. So all it takes is finding the right people to follow, to read and learn from, and then model it. And the more you feed your brain with this stuff, it becomes more automatic. I found myself after doing teaching from stage, speaking from stage, and doing it for several years, I found myself basically talking like all of my mentors, saying the same words, acting the same ways, thinking the same way, and noticing at the same time, my success keeps increasing at a steady rate. So it works. And we're both here telling you that. If you have not yet followed that model, when would now be the right time to do that? Oh, threw that one in there. So Susan, I can tell that you're into physical fitness, being a marathon runner. How would you rate that as a level of importance in your life? How does it impact your business life and even your personal life by taking care of yourself physically?
Well, just to give you a little backstory, when I was 34, I had a terrible accident. I fell off a balcony I was cleaning a house. So I had a little house cleaning business, and I fell off of the bedroom balcony into the living room, and I broke my back, I shattered my pelvis, I broke my arms, I broke my ribs, and I was lucky to have lived through it. And I did not become a marathon runner until 6 years later. So I had never run before. And I really struggled. It was 6 years of learning to walk again and total recovery. But what I found was when I started moving my body in such a way that I was strengthening all the muscles around all those arthritic broken bones that I had, I started feeling better. And exercise and running means more to me, even though I compete and run. Getting that medal when I finish a race, it's never about where I placed or how fast I ran. It was that I did it. So I think that when you can challenge your body and overcome certain limitations that you have, or that you think you have, or that you allow yourself to have, it can change everything. It can change everything. And it really wasn't until then that I started really excelling in business.
That's amazing. Yeah. We call that limiting beliefs in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. We often do, don't we, limit ourselves based on just what's going on up here. We make statements to ourselves as if they're fact and say, well, who am I to do that? I'm too old. Who am I to do that? I'm not a man. Who am I to do that? I'm too young, right? And all these doubts come through our minds that we've been handed down in our imprint stages, by no, don't touch that. No, you can't play with that. No, no, no. And it's about reprogramming your mind for the better. And it's possible to do. Susan's living proof of it. She reprogrammed her mind so that she could basically reprogram her body physically. And I love that story. That's very inspiring. I developed a bad knee over the course of just aging, and it's osteoarthritis. It's early onset arthritis. And I learned that the opposite of what I thought would fix it was true. I thought, well, I need to be more sedentary and not move and just let it keep getting worse and maybe go for it. I got injections and things like that. And then I found a strength coach who said, no, you need to lift weights, and you need to lift more weight than you've ever lifted in your entire life, heavy weights. I said, okay, I'll try it. And wow, unbelievable. It worked. Just like you said, strengthened everything around it and supported it. So the muscles, part of that system, right?
Absolutely.
so happy that you have recovered, obviously fully, it seems. If you're running marathons, my goodness, how many able-bodied people that have never gone through any of this would even think to run a marathon, right? So, I mean, kudos to you. That is amazing. Truly amazing. Let's see. You are a very, very accomplished entrepreneur. And I would like to spend a moment, if it's okay with you, to let people know exactly what it is you do today that you're so successful with, these 35,000 team members. That's a lot of people. What kind of business is it? And what does it do for people? And what do you do that really provides value for people in their lives, both from what the company offers and from maybe a business standpoint in helping them to earn income?
Awesome. So I work with an online health and wellness nutrition company. And being an organic farmer, we have an organic farm. Red Suspenders, my lovely dear husband, does most of the heavy lifting around here, but I do the marketing end of it, and I love to harvest, etc. So I wanted to find a way to help more people than our little farm could allow, because you can imagine when you have a farm and you're growing produce, you can only serve people in a certain area. So finding this nutrition company that was online that had products that were, they're not organic, but they're clean, they're pure, there's no additives, no preservatives, they fit the bill. We don't call them organic because we source from other places that don't have the guidelines that we do here. So their products or their ingredients are more pure. So I fully aligned with this company. I was so excited because my desire was really to have a big impact on people's health. And I had studied nutrition for years, and that's why we even have the farm. And it was almost like a dream come true. So when I found this business, I just got to work with it. And I told everyone about it. I got all my family and my friends trying the products, and it just grew from there. And so we have products that help people with weight loss, help people with energy, help people with healthy aging, which was the dilemma I was facing 8 years ago when I found these products, just pure nutrition. So my excitement of what this company and what these products could do for myself and for other people was just off the charts. And I also found that in a network marketing platform, I guess, I was really able to help people have more time freedom and more financial freedom, because that was important to me. Like you said, I'm a mom of 4, I'm a grandmother of 7, I have dogs, I love to run, not just here, I love to run all over the country and the world. I ran in Italy a few years ago, which was super cool, but that requires time and it requires finances, and it required a lot more money than I was making selling tomatoes on our farm. So it was pretty cool. And I've actually helped some people retire from really great jobs. And I think when we think about wellness, we always just think about our health and our physical wellness, but financially it's so important too, because the stress that people deal with when they're not financially well, the stress, the worry, and the time that it takes away from our family and the things that we're put here to do more than just work. So it was a business model that not only, it's great when people have their own business and they're doing well and they're making money, but the fact that I could bring people into this business and they could out earn me, I was sold. It's just been a godsend.
And I love the overriding theme to that entire segment there, and that was helping others. And that is, to a person, everyone I've had on this show has that same desire, that same heart-centered approach. It's, she was not money-centric in that discussion at all. She did mention that money was necessary to do things like run in Italy. What money is enabling Susan to do is to serve more people and get them to that financial freedom I love how you said financial wellness. That's a phenomenal way of framing that part of the wellness picture. More time freedom. The thing is for people like Susan who just want to help people, and look, she gets rewarded in the process. Is that okay? Heck yes. In fact, in my humble opinion, I hope that Susan gets more and more wealthy, far, far more wealthy than she is now, even now, so that, because look what she's doing with her wealth. She is spreading it in the form of spreading the word to more people on how to achieve what she's achieved, or at least to achieve what that individual's particular goals are. It may not be as lofty, who knows, but Susan can help them, whatever their goals are. And that's what she wants to do. That's what drives her. So I hope blessings of massive amounts of money come falling upon you, Susan. And it's not going to be just falling. It's because of all your hard work and diligence. But I hope you continue to excel so that you can serve and help more people. The world needs more people like you. A lot of people look at folks that are making a lot of money or doing well financially, and they look down on them because they're jealous, number one. But when you realize when it's an entrepreneur like Susan and what she does with her money, sure, she's going to go have fun with it. Who wouldn't? I would. Maybe get a new car, whatever you want to do. Go to Italy and run. That's a great thing. But the thing is, she's also serving more people as a result. So the more wealth that can be sprung upon her and others like her, God bless them. Please, yes, let's stop this jealousy act for those of you that might think that, and just keep saying, "Go, Susan, go." Your time will come. Maybe just connect with Susan; she can help you out. That would be your solution right there. So appreciate you, Susan, for what you're doing and for your heart. My gosh, I mean, a mother of four, grandmother of, what was it, 7?
7.
Woo! That's a
lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. And that's just one daughter has all 7 children.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for you to have 4, you can't help. You have to be someone of the mindset that loves to help others to even think of having 1, let alone 4. That's a lot too in my mind. So yeah.
Well, I had them 1 at a time, Brian, and it was spaced out over 21 years. There's a 21-year age gap, so I did it slowly and just like I run my marathons, methodically. Hey,
I mean, there's a metaphor in there for business right there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for those that are looking for the quick kill, and this is network marketing that we're talking about, and there are those out there that are in for the quick kill that just want to recruit, and leave everybody in the dust and not help them. I can tell that's not Susan's method. She wouldn't have as many in her team if it was. Yeah, you can make money in the beginning, but long term, it's not a successful recipe. I know of one person individually that did that and ended up suffering because they started losing their entire team because there was no support. So put in the work, keep the diligence, persevere, and do everything that Susan's doing. Follow her lead, and you can have the same results she's having, or even greater. Like she's put out, she stated earlier, there's nothing that she will do to hold you back. She'll do everything to lift you up, and she would love for you to pass her up in your success. So phenomenal. Oh my goodness. So there are many skill sets that, I talked about at the onset of the show, Susan, that are required to become a successful business person. And those skill sets can change over time based on where you are, in the phase of your business and in the life of your business. If you were to pick 3 right now, currently for you, that you would say are the top 3 most important skills that you have mastered, that you would then impart upon others to say, I recommend you do the same. What 3 skills would you say are at the moment some of the most important skills to have and maintain to grow and build a successful business?
I think one of the most important things is persistence. You need to be persistent. You need to keep at it, keep with it. Most people give up too soon. And that is really, there is no quick fix. And what I love about what I do with network marketing is you get paid as you're learning. And I put one of my sons through college, and he actually was working in a network marketing business, but what he was studying was not paying him. And he wasn't going to make any money until he graduated. So a lot of people think that, the persistence and persevering through those first few years, we're getting paid while we do that. So persistence is one thing. Communication is so important. When I really learned how to communicate with people, everything changed in my life. I was able to make friends. People would come to me and say, oh, maybe someone in my downline, they were struggling maybe with someone who was a difficult customer or whatever. And I would say, I would love to talk to them, because I really have a way of, I had a coach once that said to me, listen to what people mean, not what they say. And I remember when he was teaching this to me, and I thought, what are you talking about? But I get it now. So it's so interesting to me. And I really try to help my people listen to what someone means, not what they say, because there are two totally different things. So communication is another thing that's really important. And then I'm going to put this one here. I think let it go, letting things go. We hang on to way too much. We hang on to disappointments. Our feelings are hurt. We can't forgive and forget. We make everything about us. I think, where would I be today if I had not learned to let go? So letting go is so important. And it does take time. It's an art, but it's something you must do if you want to be successful.
Wow. So just so everyone knows, when I recommended they take notes, I'm not asking you to do anything I don't do. So I'm going crazy over here with getting writer's cramp and loving every second of it. So much incredible value and nuggets there for everyone watching or listening. Persistence, can't agree more. I like to say never, ever, 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 ever give up. And there's more evers in there, but we don't have time for it. And communication, you hit the nail on the head with that one as well, because nothing is more important. Because I could say something to you and your response and your thought process would be a complete different reaction than what I meant. And it's all about being at cause. When two people are communicating, if you're talking to someone and they don't understand you, then the best way to get past that is for you personally to take cause and say, there must be something I'm not communicating properly. How can I rephrase that and try again? And put it on yourself instead of pointing fingers at the other person. Why don't they get me? How many times have you thought that or heard that? Yes. And then when you go, wait a minute, it's probably because of my message. I think a different way. So therefore, let me try this in a different tact until we get there and do it calmly. Letting go. Oh, yes. So you touched on one there, and that was, hurt feelings, disappointments, basically when we take things personally. And the interesting thing is, most often when someone does hurt our feelings, it's interesting because most often it's not personal. It has nothing to do with you, but it just has everything to do with a current situation they are going through in their lives. And there's a phenomenal book resource that I'd like to share with people. It's called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it touches on that. And it's a small book, a quick read, so powerful. I see you nodding in agreement there, Susan. That's one of those books where you want to pick it up and read it annually, once a year at least, and refresh, because you can get through it really fast. But so thank you. Amazing, amazing. Golden nugget after golden nugget. They were just flying. So all of you watching, listening, feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions, and we will put you up on the screen if it's appropriate, if it fits, and give you a shout out as well, because this show is all about giving. I want Susan to be known to the rest of the world. I want what she does to be available to you if it's a fit. And so we will give you a means to connect with her here toward the end of the show. So stay with us. And then you can reach out to her. You can tell. Look at her. Does she look like she's going to be a hard sell artist on you and not let you off the phone? It's like she's wonderful. You know, she is a sweet woman. She's a grandmother and a mom, but don't let that fool you. She's a very astute businesswoman. And I know that she will tell it like it is and give you the straight and not just sugarcoat everything. She wouldn't be there where she is if she did, in all honesty. But you can just tell she's very approachable, very heart-centered, and wants to help you if you're willing to receive the help. It really takes that. All you have to do is be willing. That's it. That's tough, isn't it?
That's the right. Absolutely. But that's a big deal too, because a lot of people want the answers or want the fast track, right? But you've got to be willing to kind of look at yourself and be open to change and to working on yourself and have that thick skin, because I like to ease into it. I would never tell anyone, but there's a nice way to let people figure out themselves. So that's cool.
Yeah. And some of it is that you do have to figure things out on your own. You know, when you get a mentor or coach or someone like Susan, they can point in the right direction, but the work has to be done by you. And that permeates all kinds of business. It's not just network marketing. It's every kind of business, entrepreneurship. If you're starting up your own, especially if you're starting up your own, that's a much more difficult track than getting into a business like Susan is involved in, where the business is already built and you are now an owner within it of your own destiny, and everything, all the infrastructure is in place, the shipping, the processing of funds, all of that is in place. You don't have to do any of that. You just put in your information so that when it's time, the payments come to you for your efforts. And so it's a phenomenal business model. I love the concept of network marketing, but when it comes down to it, when the rubber meets the road, it is up to you to put in the effort. And as long as you're doing that, you know, and you're really diligent, then people like Susan will be very open to helping you to the next level, but only if you're putting in the effort. So don't just come in looking for a handout. I'm trying to help people be respectful when they do contact you, Susan. So definitely, though, don't let that hold you back. Ready, fire, aim. Go after it. Connect with her. We'll give you that information here soon. My gosh, the time flies on these shows. I have so much fun. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. We've been talking about entrepreneurs, and there are others that don't, that work for other companies, right? I've been in that position working for corporate, and I have my own opinions on both sides of the fence on which one is better, which one I like more. But I'm curious, from your standpoint, Susan, what do you feel is the major difference between entrepreneurs such as yourself and those who work for someone else?
For me, it's about freedom and being able to call the shots. But I'll tell you, Brian, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. You really have to be disciplined. And there are people that desire it, but there are people that need to be told you have to be here at 8:00 and then you have your lunch at 12:00 or whatever it may be. And we need people like that in our world too. Everyone serves a purpose and fills a position. So you have to figure out what is for you. And that's what the difference is. I like to call the shots, and I am disciplined. So being an entrepreneur, it really takes, and that's why I say when I get up in the morning, I have a routine. I have my morning routine. I have a coffee. I read my book. I go out and exercise. And if you're not disciplined, you could say, well, I'm not going to run today, or, I'm not going to call 4 people today, or I'm not going to do that. I do things that I don't particularly feel like doing, but I do them anyway. And the more things you do that you don't feel like doing, it's kind of like I say, eating the lima beans on your plate first. I don't really care for the lima beans, but they're part of the meal. So I eat them first, get it out of the way. Brian Tracy has that book, Eat That Frog. Yes. And that's, I don't really want to eat a frog, but if you think about that. So it's getting those things. And I must say, when I am doing a run that's particularly tough, whether it's in the summer, it's long, it's hot, whatever it might be, I think of, as I'm out there doing that, what my reward is going to be. So I'll be out there and really struggling to get through a run. But what gets me through is I don't think about, I'm hot, my feet hurt, I'm miserable, I'm 2 miles from home, I'm out of water. I think of my reward. I think, oh, tonight my husband's taking me to my favorite restaurant for dinner, and I'm going to splurge a little bit because I ran 16 miles today. So there is in the mindset, right? And I'm probably getting off track here, but being an entrepreneur, it takes, I think you have to do all this kind of work on yourself first and not just jump into it, because that's so important. Anybody can do what I'm doing. This business is not rocket science. It's set up for everyone. But if you don't work on yourself first, then you're disappointed when you jump in. And I tell people, if I was successful in my first couple of years, don't look at Susan did this in 2 years. Turn back the clock and, come and visit me when I was in a hospital, in a nursing home, and I couldn't walk. And all those things in my life got me to where I am.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. All of that about the differences or what it means to be an entrepreneur. And, you said it really well with the corporate life is folks are looking for people to tell them what to do and when to do it. And again, there's nothing wrong with either side. And you're absolutely right. Being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. In fact, it's a very small percentage of people who, not try, but who succeed at it because of everything you just said with the persistence, the discipline, self-discipline, so key, routine. All the guests that I bring on the show all have a routine. They're all different, but they all have one. And what I just tell the guests is if you don't have one, pick one of these. Pick Susan's, model it, go out for a run. If you have pets, spend some time with them, have some coffee, spend some quiet time. See how that works for you. If it doesn't, go look at one of our other past shows and you'll see another routine. Every single one of them has a routine. And then you talk about, doing things you don't feel like doing. And I like to refer to that as getting out of one's comfort zone. And the thing is it's very important for folks to realize that to get in the habit of getting out of your comfort zone. That is key to your success, and do it multiple times a day, every day, because without doing that, if you just keep doing the same thing you're doing today, you're going to get the same results you have today. And so the only way to really move, but the thing is you don't have to do it alone. You can have someone like Susan helping you along, giving you the guidance and advice before you literally go out and do it and execute on it. But she can help you with that as well. Oh my gosh. Think of the reward. That is so key. I like to say, begin with the outcome in mind. What is your desired outcome for a particular task you're about to embark on? Let's say you're going to go to a networking event, maybe a seminar. That's going to be 2, 3, 4 days of your life on top of hotel fees and travel fees and everything to go with it. What is your outcome for that? I was taught a great lesson by my mentor about this. I was at a seminar and he's texting me and he goes, "What are you doing, bud?" And I said, "I'm at a seminar like literally it was a couple miles from his house near Newport Beach here in Southern California." I said, "I'm at this seminar." And he asked one question and I knew why he asked it. He just said, "Why?" in text form. And I'm like, oh my God, I get it. I know what he's saying. Why am I here? What was my outcome? I'm like thinking about it. I go, I don't have one. He goes, "Hey, bud, come on over. We're going to have some dinner with the parents." And I'm like, I would much rather spend time with him and, than where I was at. So I respectfully waited for a break and then left and went to his place and had a great time. So always start with the outcome in mind, because you will save yourself both time and money in some cases. If you don't have a proper outcome, then don't do it, because you're investing yourself, your time and money. So be sure you have a valid, strong outcome. And since then, I always have a strong outcome, especially for going to events like that. My goodness, work on yourself first and foremost, reverse unwind and put it in the beginning. Always get yourself straightened up, your mindset. Susan can help you with that, being a mindset expert. She can help you right that ship. And it doesn't take a ton of work. It just takes repetition, habit, and some tools and resources that she is expert at to help you to minimize what we call that stinking thinking and get you on the right track to success, like Susan has done. She's overcome a lot, a broken body, literally, and she's overcome that. Do you think she could help you? I think so. My personal opinion. So definitely, we want to give you the ability to reach out to her. We only have about 15 minutes left of this show, which I cannot believe. Oh my goodness. So you are very successful, right? And in many people's eyes, you're like, wow, 35,000 team members. That's a lot. So that means you're crushing it. You're doing well. And kudos to you. You put in the time, effort, and everything we've talked about. That's how you know to tell people. That's how to get where you are. But the thing is, along the way, I'm sure, you never had an issue, that everything worked perfectly. It was just like sipping a umbrella drink in a hammock on the beach. Everything was just autopilot, and you never had an issue. You never had any failures along the way, right?
Absolutely. Not one. Not one.
And so nothing could be farther from the truth. In all seriousness, for all entrepreneurs, we fail, and we fail time and time and time again. It's not really a failure, because what happens is when you have something that doesn't work, the key is learning from it and then not making that mistake again. So it's not really a failure. But if you were to think of a couple that fall in that line, Susan, what would you say would be some of those, and what were your learnings as a result of going through that?
Well, rejection is one thing that takes people out of the game, and you have to really grow a thick skin. And I always say, when you're offering something to someone, whether your products or the business opportunity, think of it as a stick of gum. And if I said, Brian, would you like a stick of gum? And you said, no, thank you. I would not go home and cry to my husband and wonder why Brian didn't want my gum. Right? So we take our products or the business opportunity so personally. They're not rejecting us and saying, you're ugly, Susan, your clothes don't match, your whatever it might be. They're just saying, no, thank you. And so I think that's important. But there was something else I was going to say. Just repeat the question again, so get me on the right track.
I completely forgot.
You forgot too. This is perfect.
No, what were some of the things that you tripped up on that you learned from?
Right. Yeah. So I was and so rejection taken me out, but just for a little bit, because it's sort of, you've got to jump right back in again. And that's where a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in network marketing, fail and never come back, because that's taken them out. So I remember when I went to my first conference, and I'm going to give you the quick version. One of the gals on stage, and it was my first conference for my company, had earned $1 million in a year. So a lot of the reasons you go to these conferences is to see real people like you and see what's possible, right? So I'm a high achiever. At least, I try to be a high achiever. So I left that conference going, well, I'm going to go home and earn $1 million this year. And I went home and I didn't earn $1 million. So 2 years went by and I didn't earn $1 million in a year. So I thought, the next conference, I'm not going. Yeah. There's no need for me to go. I've learned everything. I've been going to conferences for years. There's nothing more I can learn. So I didn't want to go. And this is when my BFF and my business partner, Cindy Walters, said, you are going to this conference. She said, Susan, this is when you need it the most. So I went to that conference with my arms folded, with a big old puss on my face. And I went to that conference, and this conference, there was a gal on stage who told her story. And her first year, she had earned $6,000. She worked in a school system. Her second year, $9,000. No, her second year, $13,000. Her third year, $23,000. Her fourth year, $64,000. Her fifth year, $93,000. Her sixth year, $900,000. And I said, oh, I could do that. And I really think that what takes us out of the game? We take ourselves out of the game, because I was so down on myself. And I tell this to people all the time, let somebody motivate you, but be realistic about it. It's possible to earn $1 million in a year. And because I didn't, I was in 2 years ready to throw in the towel. Not because I didn't believe in the company or the business, I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
And when I saw someone else who persisted to the point where she did it, I thought, oh, it reminded me of everything I already knew. But it is that easy that a mindset coach can take themselves out of the game, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And we often forget that and look at somebody that's achieved great success, think that we should be able to do that almost instantly as well. And that's a great story. We have a couple comments coming in. Marcel says, you always bring great people who motivate you. Thank you. Your show is my weekly discipline. Learning never stops. And yes, because of amazing young ladies like Mrs. Susan Wheeler, that is made possible. Thank you. And she actually has a question for you. And let's see what that is. She has a question. She says, any advice for a network marketer who works full time? I hear that one very often. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say to her as well.
It's my favorite question. So I think a lot of people think that they can't do their network marketing business because they work full time. So I think what she's saying, she must have another full-time job and she does network marketing. Yes. Okay, perfect. So this happens a lot. And there are times when I have run out of my warm market that I wish I had a full-time job because here's the way you should look at it. A full-time job, you are so scheduled. And it's sort of like on the weekdays when your kids are in school. So I was a stay-at-home mom always. When they were in school, I got things done. I was a machine because I had a schedule and I only had certain time to get things done. And on the weekends, when I had all the time in the world, not much was getting accomplished, right? So when you have a full-time job, you're really able to utilize your time so much better. And I think that don't worry about the amount of time you have. It's the pockets of time. And I was saying this to my son today. We live in a beautiful part of Connecticut. It's the northwest corner of Connecticut. People vacation here, and I get to live here. There are trails and waterfalls and lakes and rivers and mountains. It is gorgeous. And I am earning more money now than I did, say, this time last year, and I'm working less, right? Because I'm intentional. I have what I call a power hour. And if I can't do it all in 1 hour, I do 4 15-minute segments. And that's my day. I mean, I still work in between, but I really think that do not think you need 40 hours a week to earn a full-time income in network marketing. You don't. You just have to be smart about saying, and I think most people that do have full-time jobs are pretty smart about it. I have a gal, she gets on our Monday afternoon meeting in her car, and sometimes she's ducked down in the back seat. So, and she gets on the meeting, but she'll make phone calls in the bathroom. And I'm not telling you to, use the clock for your network marketing job, but be creative, hands-free on your way home, on your commute. You can talk to people.
Absolutely. All great advice. And I totally agree with you. It's amazing that when you're so busy with a full-time job, you end up getting more done during that time than when you have nothing scheduled. It's because you're so focused and you're, I don't know what it is, but it's universal. I remember going through a corporate job and then knowing I have a full weekend ahead of me. I'm like, man, I'm going to crush it with my entrepreneurial job or business now. And it would come like, man, I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to rest, and I do nothing. But when it's the week, I'm working till, do the job, get home, hit the entrepreneurial treadmill, get on it. Don't get off till 11, 12 o'clock, wash, rinse, repeat. That's when it's like a momentum builder when you have that full-time job. I call it a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it's providing you some income to help you grow your business if you need additional tools and resources. And it's a curse because, ultimately it is taking your time. But once you are able to liberate yourself and free yourself from that, by then you will have hopefully instilled the discipline necessary to keep you going, to then get to the point where you are like a Susan, where you can now choose basically the life you desire. And it doesn't happen immediately. It's not overnight. So don't get us wrong there, because like she said, everything she's said up to this point, persistence, diligence, working, going after it, putting in the time and effort, and just follow the leader and do what they do. Model them. Don't reinvent the wheel. So many, good grief, so many nuggets of wisdom. Susan, you are a powerhouse. And we have 3 minutes. Oh, my goodness. So we actually can go a little long because there's no stop here. It's not a station. But what I like to do is I always like to end the show with one question that's it's an interesting question. It can be very personal. In fact, it is personal. And it can be a heavy hitting question, or it could be a light question. It's all up to the response that comes out. And now Susan's going, oh my goodness, what the heck is this guy talking about? And that's okay. But before we do that, I did promise those who are staying on with us live how to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. I said report, didn't I?
That's okay.
Luxury resort. And all compliments of our good friends at thebiginsidersecrets.com. And for now, we're going to come back and ask Susan that one final question and give you the opportunity to connect with her. And I think she may still have a gift available for you all, if that's true, Susan. We'll bring that up. And so stick around. But before we do that, you now have both Susan and my permission to take your gaze away very shortly, hopefully from a computer screen, and pull out your phone, because to enter to win, here, I'll put it up on screen, is pull up your texting app on your phone, and where you would put in the name of the person you're going to text, instead type in this phone number, and that is 661-535-1624. And then where you would actually say hello or put emojis in the actual message in there, just type in the word peak, that's P-E-A-K, and hit the little send icon, and you will be instantly entered. We randomly pick a winner each and every show, so we can't wait to have you be a winner. And again, that is 661-535-1624. And in the messaging area, go ahead and type the word peak and hit send. And then that will get you entered into this amazing contest. So go ahead, do that right now and come back, because we are now going to ask the woman of the hour the big question. And then we'll give you her contact information and possibly another gift. We'll see. We'll check in on that. So this question, Susan, is it's an amazing question. And just to kind of put you a little at ease in case there is any trepidation going on, the cool thing about this question is there literally is no such thing as a wrong answer. It's absolutely impossible to answer it wrong. There's no way. In fact, the exact opposite is true, in that the only correct answer is your answer. Isn't that cool? So now you can just, all right, cool. Here we go. It is also very impactful. So if some have responded, I ask every guest expert this question, by the way. Some have responded instantly. Some take a moment to reflect and decide what they want to answer with. Either way is fine. Doesn't matter. Take your time if you need it, and that would work. So with that, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Of course you are. You are always ready. Here we go. Susan Wheeler, how do you define success?
I define success as feeling happy and feeling fulfilled. So success isn't about the amount of money you make or where you live or anything at all. Success is when you set your mind to something and you achieve what you set your mind to. That is success to me. And like I say, running a marathon, I am not going to beat some of these ultra runners that are, running a marathon in under 2 hours. But success for me is crossing the finish line myself. So without comparison, if you are happy, if you are healthy, if you feel good about where you are and what you do and what you've done and where your dreams and goals are taking you, then you're successful.
Phenomenal. And just as all of the previous guests, you are no different in that you made the statement near the beginning of it that it's not about money. And I find that incredibly enlightening and amazing, because that's the thing. The differences between successful entrepreneurs and those who are just starting, there's a different mindset. And that is one of scarcity when you're just starting out. And that's natural. You know, when you're starting out, you are more money centric because you need the money to thrive and survive in your business and your family. And then as you become successful, you realize it really had nothing to do with money ever. It's all about achieving success, about serving others, which you have talked about a lot, helping others, and about actually achieving what you set your mind to. It's like a victory, these little victories. Those are more important than the actual money. Yes, money is important. Don't get us wrong there either. But the cool thing is it's not the one on the top. That's not what defines success for Susan Wheeler. Doesn't mean it shouldn't define your success. It means nothing of the sort. Your success is your success. It's by asking this question now over 100 times and getting a different answer every single time. I now know that the answer to your success is only your answer. And so that's it. There you go. And now Linda has a wonderful free gift to give you, and it's a free guide. And I will hand it over to her to explain it and to tell you exactly how you can get that. And then we will show you also how to connect with her. It might be one and the same. So go ahead and take it away, Linda. I mean, Susan, Linda, where'd that come from?
I was going to say,
I haven't even had a Linda on the show. Brian's losing it.
oh,
Right.
you can connect with me. That's okay. You can connect with me on how cool. This is my website. It's Susan V. Wheeler. Don't forget the V, SusanVWheeler.com. And you can download my free 12-step guide to making lemonade. And then everyone that does that, I will do a drawing for someone to get a free coaching session with me, a 30-minute coaching session, and my book, The Lemonade Diet, and I will send you a signed copy of that as well. So what you need to do is go to my website and sign up for the 12-step guide, and I will put you in that drawing.
And do they do that through this button right here, Susan, or is it somewhere else?
So does it say grab? Yeah, I don't have my glasses here.
Oh,
Grab your free
grab your copy today, the little button.
Yep, absolutely.
There you go. So click on that button, grab your copy, get entered to win that amazing 30-minute free coaching and a signed copy of our book. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I might do this myself. I'll use an alias and see if I win.
We'll see. I'm going to screen all the entrants.
And so for folks to reach out to you, so go ahead and do that. I imagine that an email address will be involved in there somewhere, and that will instantly give you a connection to her. And so that takes us to Amazon, but definitely reach out to her. So what is another way for people to get in touch with you, Susan? Would it be directly through your email address if they just want to reach out to you and maybe get some coaching and mentoring and ask more about your business so they can achieve the same success you have achieved?
Sure. I can be contacted through my website. You can send me an email, which is susan@susanvwheeler.com. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm Susan V. Wheeler, or on Instagram, Susan V. Wheeler, Susan_V. Wheeler. So yeah, you can follow me anywhere, reach out, say that you heard me here if you're not reaching out through the website, and I would love to connect.
Fantastic. You are such an amazing woman, so accomplished, so giving, and so perfect for this very show, because that's what it's all about, is helping other entrepreneurs to succeed and reach another level higher than they are currently today. And I think I just know from my vantage point, having done over 100 of these shows, that you definitely hit the mark in that regard for sure, in so many other ways. So I can't tell you how appreciative I am for you coming on and staying. It's 9:30 at night there, ladies and gentlemen, in Connecticut. So it's getting a little bit later, and she's still there. Look at her, full of energy, big smile. Susan, thank you so very much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and your just value with our audience. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for everyone that came on and watched live or that watched the recording or listened on the podcast, we appreciate you as well. And we can't wait to bring you even more. To that note, we will be back again 1 week from today with another edition of the Mind Body Business Show. On behalf of the amazing Susan Wheeler, I'm your host, Brian Kelly, and we will see you again next week. Until then, so long and be blessed for now. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.